Welcome to the PSNORKIS podcast, a show with real topics discussed by real people with real opinions and tempered with a real sense of humour. Now here are your two PSNORKISers. Or is it PSNORKI? Screw it. Here are your hosts, Dr. Myke and the Madman.
Greetings, fellow PSNORKI. It is Saturday. It is the 30th of October, the day before Halloween. Fun. Well, for me, I always enjoyed it. A fun holiday. Hence the spookier music. We're going to go a little different this time. But this time, we got the same people. Who am I kidding? But we got them, and that's what makes it so great. Sitting here next to me is my partner, Dr. Myke. Doc! How you doing?
Man, how are you? Wow, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I got to tell you, I was a little distracted here, a little bit.
Something different.
I mean, I don't know what was going on here.
I do that. I know.
Yeah. Look,
Right?
look, is that going on again? Look, yeah.
Pay no attention to the woman sitting to your left. No,
Okay.
Behind the curtain. No.
I can't help it.
That's just Rocket being
going on?
Rocket. That's
Hi, Rocket. It is good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Nice.
All of you. Oh, sorry.
And of course, we have our producer, Petey. Hello, Petey, my dear.
Hello, PSNORKIS friends.
And we've got Miss Kitty here as usual.
Hello, my darling.
And rejoining us, and she hasn't for a while because, obviously her son had baseball. Understandable. Family comes first here, but she's finally able to make it again, and that's our own Rebel.
Greetings and salutations, fellow PSNORKI. It is good to be back.
She was working on more shades.
Yes.
I know she was. That's why she's been gone.
So do you know the difference between PSNORKI and PSNORKISes? Two are PSNORKISes. Anything more, then you go to the PSNORKI. Yes. And do you know why that rule is?
I do not.
Because I made it up. I made up the word.
Wow.
All right.
Now you just made up another bleep.
I made up
I thought it was like
PSNORKIS. So I made up
octopi.
PSNORKISes and I made up PSNORKI, and that's just the way it is. Damn it.
Wow.
Keep pointing your PSNORKIS at me. We're going to have a problem.
I'm
You rang?
sorry. Hey, but it wasn't loaded.
I heard my
wasn't
name, damn
loaded.
it.
Wasn't an Olympus
All
like
right.
it either. So that's good.
Unlike Alec Baldwin's gun, it wasn't loaded.
Wow.
Oh,
Too soon?
Did I
Too soon? No?
Did I do that?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness.
Apparently both guns are loaded. What's he got? 5 kids with the new wife?
Okay. Okay. That's actually not one of the things we were going to touch on.
Oh, like that's going to stop us. Yeah, right.
You know what? It's probably for the best because clearly there's enough touching being done in that direction.
Oh, my goodness. See? Shades all the time.
I got a
Shades.
full color catalog, honey.
Yeah? Welcome back, Rebel.
It's good to have you
Yeah.
back. Absolutely.
Probably scratch and sniff too.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
I put nothing past her at this point. Nothing at all.
I'm flattered to, for once in my life, be considered in the same category as the Girl Scout cookie catalog.
Oh,
I'm very pleased with this.
nice. Very nice. Madman.
Yes.
I want to welcome a new audience.
You
who
do?
are listening, yeah?
Yeah, you said you wanted to talk about some stuff, and
I'm so
you
excited.
You would not tell us beforehand, and I like that because we can share on air. Please go ahead.
Our new listening audience, and Miss Kitty knows.
Yes, I
She
do.
knows.
Oh, you told her, but you wouldn't tell me?
No,
Miss
I knew
Kitty.
before he did.
She did.
Oh, so she told you.
She let me in. Go ahead, Miss
Oh,
Kitty.
okay.
No. By all means.
Well, I'll say one and you say the other.
Okay.
So we are welcomed and listened in Thailand now.
Wow.
So we welcome our Thailand audience.
No way.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool.
International.
Where else?
That PSNORKIS International.
Yeah.
I like it.
We
Oh, that's
have
cool.
1% of the market in the Netherlands.
Yo, Netherlands.
Really? No
What's up?
way.
Shout out to Netherlands. We're going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't mind going
Me
there.
neither.
Yeah.
And now they're listening
Or
to us.
Thailand, for that matter.
Yeah. Huh? You want to go to Bangkok? That's why. Wait. What?
Hey,
What?
Confucius say, man who walked through airport turnstile sideways, going to Bangkok.
Bangkok. Yes. He's a wise man. All right. Germany.
Germany.
Shout out to Germany. They're
1%.
listening to us in Germany.
Wow, that's that. No,
in
seriously,
time for
that's cool.
Oktoberfest.
See, I don't pay. I don't pay. You guys know me. I'm the technical guy. I put this all together. I don't pay attention to the other stuff. That's what you guys are for, and I'm really. That's cool. That's very cool.
And my personal happiness, 3% in the UK.
That's what's up.
Welcome.
Boy.
Welcome.
Wow.
Welcome
nice.
to everybody over the pond.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice, huh?
Big fan of the UK. My family's Scottish, so I'm a big fan of the UK.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're okay.
Today is October 30th.
No, they're
Tomorrow's
UK.
the 31st,
Oh,
and the new season of Doctor Who starts tomorrow, too.
And we're 0.5% in Austria and Poland. So
See
shout
that?
out to our
Nice.
kids.
There you go,
Sisterhood.
Petey.
Woohoo.
Your people.
Yeah.
Made it to the motherland.
My
That's
people.
Fantastic.
welcome,
So,
everybody.
No, really,
Dzień
that's
dobry.
cool.
Dzień
I
dobry.
did- Now I know
Dzień
why you
dobry.
wouldn't tell me
Yeah.
beforehand, because that
Awesome.
is cool. That is very
Dziękuję.
cool.
Yeah, man.
Very, very happy with that.
Good stuff.
I'm glad that people
That's
are
great
enjoying the
news.
show.
Yeah, that's awesome. Welcome.
Yes, welcome, and
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. The PSNORKIS podcast. And those of you that might have found it by accident and want to do it again, but don't know how to, I'm just going to tell you, PSNORKIS is spelled PSNORKIS. Just type it in. It's the only thing that's going to come up because, like I said, I made it up. So nothing else is going to come up in that search engine. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
Yes,
And
yeah,
soon
thank you so much.
Legacy.shop will have all of our PSNORKIS gear.
Very soon.
Yes.
Very soon. Go get your pumpkin spice coffee.
Yeah.
Now's the time.
Yes.
Now's the time.
Legacy.shop. It's a Legacy Brewing.
LegacyBrewing.shop.
Yep, .shop.
Awesome.
Good coffee. Very good coffee.
Cool. We got a new audience.
Yes,
got new
we
coffee.
do.
Let's do this. Let's do it.
That's very cool.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, let's open the show like we usually do.
All right.
Let's get some real quick, a couple of histories for this day, October 30th.
Love history.
I'll try to be
you
quick.
do that? Yes.
No, don't be quick.
It's Halloween. That's my history's Halloween. Halloween, yes. So do we know where Halloween originated? Anybody?
I think I know that. I think
bet
it
you do.
originated
Thanks.
in Ireland, actually.
It's a Celtic, ancient
It is Celtic. It is over there. Yep.
It
The
was-
Druids. Yep.
The Druids. It was a ceremony called Samhain.
The original tree huggers when it actually mattered.
Yeah.
Yes. I said that
High
because
fives around
they
the table.
worship trees. Unlike the falsies over in California that like, oh, it's a tree.
No, they
No,
worship
you know.
soy.
Yeah.
Soy
And
hookers.
almond.
All right, continue. Sorry.
Samhain is over 2,000 years old.
Right.
It began in, like I said, it's the Celtic lands. It was Ireland, United Kingdom, and northern France. And they celebrated their new year on November 1st. And Halloween, which we celebrate Halloween, Samhain was a day to celebrate the dead in the spirit world.
The veil is thin.
The veil is very
The veil,
thin.
they believe
veil
the
is-
veil
yes.
between the two worlds is the thinnest on October 31st.
Which I never really understood because it's a veil.
Yeah, but that's their New
They're
Year's
always
Eve.
thin.
That's their New Year's
That's a
Eve.
good point. I didn't think about that.
I
Yeah.
guess it's just thinner. It's like mist.
Well, instead of like the drape out of Oz, it's more of a valance.
Jeez.
The balance is thin.
Probably has to do with astrological positioning of planets and sun and moon.
It had to do with
Which is something you
winter.
know a bit more about than we do. So go ahead.
I'm just saying. I'm just thinking that's
Yeah.
probably what it is.
could
It's
be.
the end of the harvest.
Yes, that's
Yes.
what it was. It was a harvest celebration. It was to celebrate the end of the harvest, the end of summer, and they dreaded winter. And it was something like
Who doesn't at our
yeah,
age?
We all
it-
hate
they would try to forecast the upcoming winter because they knew they would lose a lot of people over the winter time.
Not only that, but over there, they don't have groundhogs like we do.
There you can't tell how.
Yeah,
long
to
it's gonna
Yeah,
be.
Yeah.
it's always
Yeah.
cloudy and rainy,
Yeah.
just like Punxsutawney.
Yeah.
Or in Scotland, it's always cloudy and rainy, or what we call it, drich.
Drake.
It's drich. Drich.
That's just
Do they check for sheep?
I'll tell
if
you
they see
what.
a
What was
shadow
it?
over there?
I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday this week over there at the airport where I work. It was drich. Absolutely.
Wednesday.
Drake last night at the mill.
Nice.
so the Druids would build huge bonfires and they would make sacrifices.
Human?
No,
I'm all for that.
they probably
well.
did, but it didn't say. I'm sure they did.
Oh, the good old days.
It was animal and crop sacrifices, and they would conduct their own fortune telling sessions. And some of the things that they did was Like they would want to know who the younger ladies, not spoken for, would want to know who they were going to marry. And they would take like hazelnuts and they'd throw them into a fire. And they'd name each of the hazelnuts a man. And the hazelnut left.
I thought they already were named Hazel.
Yeah, nuts.
So they were renaming them?
We're not talking about your nutsack.
Hey.
Wow.
Wow.
Which is a great brand, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Shout out to nuts.
Shout out to Nutsack.
Wow.
Man purses,
So-
basically, but I love them. They're great.
The hazelnut that would
They would survive.
survive would
Was
be
the-
the one
Huh.
that was your one. And by the following year, that's who you would marry.
That's who you're stuck with.
Yep, that's who you're stuck with.
Stuck by nuts. That's
So,
terrible.
basically,
Marriage by nuts.
You have a
rather go with the
hazelnut. You have a hazelnut
paleo
named
version.
Steve,
Yeah.
and then it's up to you to find somebody the next year named Steve.
Name
Well,
Steve,
we didn't
yeah.
incinerate your nuts, so hey, you get to be my husband.
Okay, there we go then.
Jeez. Well, that's one way to do it. Or maybe I should try that.
Maybe it'd work.
Yeah.
You've tried
We need a
everything else.
druid
What
priest.
is
Yeah,
this?
I'll throw a couple in
I
there.
think we might know one.
I'm thinking.
Wow. Wow. Jeez. All right.
So in 43 AD, the Roman Empire took
Hey, Romans.
control.
Sorry.
Yep, the Romans, they took control of the Celtic world.
Yeah.
And they introduced their festivals into Samhain. And their two festivals were Feralia, and it was the day in late October when the Romans celebrated the passing of the dead. And also Pomona, which was a celebration of fruits and trees. And it's probably like where Apple Fest and bobbing for apples and those sorts of things come from.
Okay,
So
now
they
that
were
I didn't
combined
know.
into
That's
it.
kind of cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did not know that part. But the Romans were part of it too.
And
The
you
Romans.
stamped on the
Oh,
grapes.
yeah.
I did. Yeah. Well, that's what you do. And then if you have a lot of chili, you get Feralia. That's all I know. No,
That
no.
explains a lot.
Yeah. Poor Madman. All right. Shout out to you Romans out there. Good stuff. Hey, we put our spin on everything. All right, good. Good. All right, what else?
Should we get out your step stool so you can
Wow.
scream it?
There we go.
Okay,
You know.
all right. How about something interesting? How about some Halloween birthdays?
Got birthdays?
Oh, you're okay.
Oh,
I
do you
thought
have
you
more?
liked history.
No,
that's fine.
I wanna
didn't
hear the
realize you
history.
didn't have more. No, please
Yeah.
go ahead. I saw
Well-
you turn the page. I assumed that was the end
There's
of it.
more pages.
I can't
I
see
want to
it
hear
from
the
over
history.
here.
I don't know if I
Please.
necessarily want to hear my parents fight about it.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
We weren't fighting. It's so cute when he gets on the step stool and screams, "All roads lead to Rome."
They do. That's where they lead. All roads lead to Rome.
Except you guys get lost.
You need a better map.
I have a cat that traipses around the neighborhood. I've decided he needs to be named Roman.
Roman. All right.
All right. So in the Americas,
All right.
there was not really any kind of Halloween or any kind of fall celebration in the northern areas, like of Massachusetts, for obvious reasons. The
Yeah,
Protestants,
they burned everyone who did things
yeah,
that
they
were
would
fun.
burn you.
Bunch of
They would
weirdos,
burn you.
yeah.
But in the southern states, they actually did celebrate a form of Halloween in the United States, and it was in Maryland and South. And they brought it over from like the Irish, and it was pretty much just in the South until the Great Irish Famine, when there were a ton of immigrants that came in from Ireland, and they helped spread Halloween and the practice throughout the nation. So it wasn't until then that Halloween became Halloween, and it became
More
a national,
mainstream.
more mainstream.
Go Irish.
Yeah.
How'd we go from that to give me some candy? How
Don't
did we make
question the
that jump?
process.
Oh,
Just enjoy
oh.
the candy.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Because
Knock on the door, see what you can
Okay.
harvest.
Oh, sorry.
Be
Okay.
happy.
all right, this kind of goes back again to after the Romans. After the
After you
Romans were
left.
after they left, the people would go
Or as
around.
we like to say, got kicked out.
No, we left willingly.
No, you
We,
didn't.
we
you
left
did
all our
not.
From the
chariots
UK,
behind.
no, you didn't.
No,
you got
no.
your butts
All
beat.
right. Well, we'll not talk about
You
that.
got thrown out.
Stop cutting Petey off.
As the Irish say, you got throwed out.
That's right.
Well, the people would go around and they would beg for food. Yeah,
okay.
so that's what happened. That's kind of how it started.
Gotcha.
They would go and soul cakes. This is where soul cakes came from.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I never heard
they
that.
would make soul
Never heard of
cakes.
soul cakes?
No.
Yeah. They're
Well,
really
guess
good.
what?
What?
Neither had I till about a week ago when I was doing some research with
Oh, no
Petey.
kidding.
And I'm
thing.
like, oh, these are actually kind of cool, yes.
I
Explain soul
actually
cakes.
heard about them. I heard
I
about
never
them.
had.
And
Nope.
they're traditionally served with powdered sugar, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they, they
What's
can
it?
do different things. That is one of them. And they usually put like berries or different kind of fruit on top.
It was like a pancake.
No.
It's kind of like a white cookie, like a white cake cookie. A heavy cookie
Yeah, it's good.
with fruit.
I got you.
You don't get the satisfaction of flipping it and then pat, pat, pat
No,
with the
there's no
flipper.
pancake
Gotcha.
to it.
It's like a loft house with fruit.
Nice.
That's a heavy cookie.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
In the
I like
grocery store with the
Loft
icing all
House. Yeah,
over.
oh, I
These things
love
are
those.
addictive.
They're delicious, aren't they? Mm.
Nice.
You know which ones?
Gobs. Gobs are addictive.
The Loft House cookies?
Yes,
The icing.
yes. Oh, those are so
they
good.
are. They are.
Those
Yeah,
are
so
so
those are
good.
like soul cakes, right? You would just put fruit
I
on
would
them.
think so, yes.
Because they're
Those
not a
with-
cookie and they're not a cake. They're kind
Yeah.
of a cross between.
Yeah.
I think you're right, yes. And some of them actually did put just like sugar on them, but most of them had some kind of fruit or nut topping.
Nice. Yeah, learned something new.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's what happens when the Romans left. See, maybe they went nuts.
Better
they don't know
things
if they're
happen.
eating
And
cookies or cakes. Yeah,
And fruits.
and fruits.
Fruits and nuts. They
And
went.
candies.
Yeah.
No, but what you
That
also
sticks.
do, like if your neighbors are poor and they're always coming to you for something, then you can ask them for like, hey, can I borrow your Windex or something? Or can I have, 2 teaspoons of sugar? It makes them feel needed in the community.
Like they don't stick out. So they're
Yes.
not just taking, they're also giving.
Gotcha.
So they're a participant.
Gotcha.
That's
Cool.
a big thing for our community.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know
I
that.
like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
So some birthdays for
All right, cool.
Halloween.
Oh, nice.
Sir Peter Jackson.
Pete Jackson. Oh,
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
Lord
Rings,
of the
that's-
Rings.
Yes.
Oh, okay. See, I'm sitting here like,
Yeah. See if you would watch that.
Yes, see?
If you would know
I
these
tried
things.
so
No, you didn't
hard.
try in the right line.
You know what? Since you tried and you
Yep.
found out you like Harry Potter,
Yeah,
I
you
will
need to
try
try.
Lord of the Rings again.
Lord of the So step
Wings.
one might be
Lord of the
watching the
Rings.
correct
Wings.
film.
Yeah, pronounce.
And then
Or the
making
wings.
sure it's not like the X-rated version.
Wow.
And then just,
Yeah.
Oh, so it
There's
makes
an
it different
X-rated?
which one I look at?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah.
You don't want to see where they're putting the ring in the other one.
Ah,
Oh.
damn it.
Yeah, Lord of the Wangs is not a good one. You want to watch. You want to watch Lord of the Rings.
It's a different kind of crush the ring.
Wow. Jeez. All right, Pete Jackson, happy birthday.
Yep,
Yes.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Pete Jackson.
Sorry, Pete Jackson.
John Candy was born on
Oh, what
Halloween.
a dude.
Oh, he
him.
was
Dude.
funny.
Uncle
Loved
Buck.
it.
Awesome.
Uncle Buck.
Everything he did was
And
great.
Barf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember when he
Yeah,
was Barf?
Spaceballs.
It's
Yeah.
Spaceballs, half
Yeah.
man,
His
half
own
dog,
best
his
friend.
own best friend.
Yeah.
He was
He was
only
great,
like
man.
43 when he died. He was
Yeah.
so young.
Yep.
At
Drugs,
the time, I
right?
didn't
Yeah,
realize.
drugs.
Was
He
it?
was-
I
he
asked
was
Malcolm
another
because
one.
I wondered.
He was
Was it
he
another
was he was another one. Yeah,
Yeah.
He was,
It was drugs.
Like all of them from that was
Yeah.
from the Saturday Night Live group.
The whole crew.
Were all, yeah.
Yeah.
Belushi, Candy, and then Farley all was
crazy.
drug related. Yes,
It
sadly.
probably didn't help that he was a very large man.
Very
to
large.
boot.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, that didn't help. But
Yeah.
it's like, if it wouldn't been for the other part, there's a chance he might still be around.
Super
all three of
funny.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super funny.
Nick Saban has a birthday on
He's a
Halloween.
coach of
Coach.
Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Alabama Crimson Tide.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, God.
Wow.
That gives me flashbacks to the time I worked at a public bar.
Which
Watching.
one?
I only worked at one public bar, and I will never.
Oh, that's
ever
right.
do
The
it
one I
again.
met you at was we
was
met.
a
Yeah, it was
private
private.
bar.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's a good
that was a
point. Good
private
point.
bar.
Okay.
I will only ever work at private
Okay.
events ever again.
Yeah.
I could never work a public bar ever again.
That was in Pittsburgh.
Phillips. So that was problem A right there. Is really what was wrong with that.
Michael Collins' birthday.
Who's that? Phil
astronaut.
Collins' less successful brother?
No,
Wow.
no. Michael Collins was the astronaut. He was the ride home for Apollo 1.
Oh,
No,
Or
Apollo
11.
11.
Yeah,
It was
one
two
one.
ones.
One.
Yeah,
Two ones.
one didn't even. Yeah,
Yeah.
we won't. Yeah. God bless those guys. But he was their ride home. While the
Nice.
other guys had all the glory of walking on the moon for the first time.
Yeah.
He
just
stood
sat
up there looking down, going, "Yeah, crap.
Wish I was
I got
them."
to take these guys home."
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe
gonna have
put
to
on
listen
Phil
to him.
Collins.
I'm gonna have to listen to him brag about it all the way home.
200,000
Back to Earth, son of a
miles.
bitch.
200 million
That's
miles.
when you put on some Phil Collins, but you scope it
Yes.
so it's just the drum solo.
Collins
from
wasn't even
in the
born
air
yet.
tonight.
But he had like a front row seat to Flat Earth, which is pretty awesome. It was pretty great. You see it
We're
right
gonna
out the
wrap
window.
back around to that.
Yeah,
are we?
sorry,
Okay.
sorry.
I was
Okay.
thinking it, but I
That's
thought,
all
no,
right.
I shouldn't say it.
I'm sorry. All right, continue.
And the last one is Columbus. Christopher Columbus. And we don't know who he is because we're not allowed to
yeah.
talk about him anymore.
Patient X.
He's an
Patient
Italian
zero.
man
Yeah,
who
patient zero.
Portuguese, right?
was real bad at directions in a typical man fashion, asked
Wow.
no one for their way, and wound up
And
completely
look what
lost.
happened. The wonderful
Yeah,
things happened.
exactly.
Right, found a whole new place.
My people already discovered
It just
it.
wasn't the United States.
Yeah, yeah,
And he named it the same towns he used to visit in Portugal.
yeah. Well, the creature of
because
habit.
he's very bad at knowing where he is.
Yep.
He's going, I know this place.
He's like the flat earth of the sea.
Wow. Flat C. See?
So we definitely had some good birthdays.
That's some good birthdays.
What else we got?
Yeah, that's good.
I had Rebel pick out some words.
Hang on. What else? What else we have?
Just
Are we
the
allowed to
death.
say them on the air?
A death?
Yeah, death.
Only
Last
one?
year, do
The
you guys
definitions we are.
do you remember last year?
Only one?
Well, I've got a couple actually. Harry Houdini died on Halloween.
That's right. Yes,
Yes,
he
he
did.
did.
Yes, he did.
Drowning death?
Oh,
Was
might
it?
have been.
No, it was
Performing.
Technically,
Performing?
Wait, I'm sorry.
he was
Houdini.
Houdini died.
yeah.
How did he die?
Handcuffed in the
thing.
tank, I thought,
yeah,
too.
handcuffed in the tank.
Drowning death
Yep.
by choice.
Yeah. Death by drowning.
River Phoenix also died.
So sad.
Oh,
Another
yeah.
overdose,
Him, yeah.
right? He overdosed.
Yeah, he was
And-
another drug one, yeah.
The great Sean Connery.
That's right. It has.
That was
It's
just
been
a year
for
ago.
The
tomorrow.
original James Bond.
Give me a
Not-
ping, Mr. Vasily.
I
One
love
ping
him.
only, please.
One ping. Yeah.
So handsome.
Yeah,
Women
he-
swooned over him for generations.
Yes, yes, I did.
You and a couple other people I know. You ever met?
Yes.
You never meet my friend Tracy
Yeah, I think
at the
so.
parties? Yeah. My
Yeah.
Christmas
They've been at the
parties,
same
yeah.
parties, whether they met or not, I don't
Yeah,
know.
big fan.
Yeah, she's in love with him. Always has
I
been.
don't know if I'm in love with him, but
Oh.
Oh, she was.
He was a
Oh,
sexy
she
beast.
was.
yeah, there's a few of them floating around out there.
And a kilt and a tux. Yeah.
Out of everything. Oh, no.
I wasn't going there. I wasn't going there.
Okay.
50
Yeah,
Shades of
yeah.
Rocket.
Right?
You're getting there. A lot of
Listen,
shades.
my mind's not always in the gutter. It's occasionally on the curb waiting for a ride.
Jeez.
I like that.
Waiting for the bus. Let's go to Rebels.
Then it would just be going back down into the gutter because
Yeah.
that's my
Pretty
mind's
much,
permanent
yeah.
home.
Oh, come on. It comes out of there every now and then.
Hers or yours?
Yeah, both of ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
On rare occasion.
Yeah.
Today it's wearing pants.
Nice.
Okay, so is that it for history?
That is it.
Good history.
Okay,
That
Miss
was good
Kitty, what have
history.
you got?
I let Rebel pick out our words.
Okay.
Okay.
I had a lot of fun doing this.
But words is
and
hard.
Yeah,
in
words
true,
is
They
hard.
are.
in true me fashion, in true 50 Shades of Rebel fashion, I wanted to pick words that sounded bad, but
Just sounded-
actually aren't technically inappropriate just by the definition.
You just want to say bad words.
I do.
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
finding ways to get around, you know, the FCC here.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to start with like the least interesting
Okay.
to the most interesting.
Ready, Rocket?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
Sweet, let's kick it off.
All right, here we go.
All right, so a dolly mop. Has anyone ever heard of this?
Dolly Mop.
Dolly mop.
It's a good nickname. Same.
It means a tardily dressed maidservant or an errand boy. I'm going to use that as an insult now when
I
I'm
think
driving.
that's a rent boy in our world.
All right, give it to the pool boy. All right? Yeah, all right. Yeah, I like that.
The next one is brace up.
Brace up.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Rocket?
It's like your bra.
No, brace up. Yeah. Well, it is.
Brace up!
Brace up. There was a visual there. Just say for our listeners at home. All right.
So the definition of that means to pawn stolen goods.
I like that. Yeah.
The next one is hulk.
Hulk. Yeah, we all
Yes.
watched the Hulk.
Hulk.
Yeah, David Banner.
To hang about in hopes of
Bruce
an
Banner.
invitation.
Oh, Hulk?
Ew,
so stop
I don't like
hulking
those
about.
people.
Yeah, Hulk.
No,
and-
neither do
No.
I. They're not
Weird.
nearly as you know, sneaky as they think they are.
I just straight out ask. No hulking in my end.
I like that though. It's direct.
Hulk.
The next one is rather fitting with today's topics so far. Bone.
Bone. I know why she picked this one.
Fanny.
What?
Bone.
Welcome to Bone.
What?
Not to be confused with being boned.
Okay.
See?
And so it begins.
And here comes
To
the bus.
debone,
Yeah.
to remove the bones.
Bone.
To steal or pilfer.
Pilfer. That's a good
Really?
word, too.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
I
bone.
don't always use that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start using that a lot more, and I really want to like fuel myself with the confused looks that I get from strangers
Let's
who
go.
make the unfortunate mistake of interacting with me in a
Yeah.
giant.
It's giant.
That's that I don't really go to a lot of other places. I tend to shop online. I don't necessarily enjoy going into stores anymore. So when I go into Giant, I go in there specifically because I'm better at picking out my produce than anyone else is.
Okay,
And if someone
that's
wants
fair.
to annoy me while I'm picking out a $2 head of broccoli, well, then you get what you get.
I
All right.
can't go in Giant because the little animatronics dude follows me around the store.
Robert trapped it with Snapples the one time.
Oh, that's
Oh, he's such a
funny.
good
I
boy.
pretended not to see. That's our agreement with that.
What are you talking about?
Well, 'cause it
I haven't-
has
I-
sensors.
I haven't been to Giant for a while.
So they have this machine, which I've been warning for people for years and years and years about the dangers of Skynet. I don't understand.
Big Brother's watching.
So its name is Marty.
Marty.
They gave it eyes and a mouth.
I see the eyes. I see it.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
So
Was it a cleaning thing?
Yeah.
it doesn't clean. It
I
just stalks
think
people.
it's
Stalks
like
you.
that.
Yes.
Oh no! See,
It's like a cleaner.
They have the cleaner thing
Yeah, yeah.
at Sam's Club, and
Yeah,
they
same
call it
thing.
No, I
Stella.
like that thing.
Yeah.
I like that thing.
Okay.
But this thing, it just goes around and it just stalks
What's
you.
its purpose?
Its purpose is to be
stalk
Big Brother.
Really, that's
So
it. It doesn't.
what-
It's
yeah.
not like one of those cleaning, like
No,
like
it does
like,
nothing.
like
It
the
does-
floor Zamboni
Marty
type
is
of thing.
Yeah, it's like a
useless.
Zamboni.
Marty is
haven't
the
been
closest
there.
thing we have in modern society to Skynet. So what Robert's done is he took out like the singular Snapples that you can get, the plastic ones, and he put it all around Marty, and that's where Marty was.
Marty was stuck.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Because he
Because
runs
the
off
sensors
sensors.
won't let it move.
Our deal is that I will chide him in the store if I catch him
And
doing
then
it.
High five him in the car.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
No, I want to do it in the parking lot so they
Yeah.
see it on camera because I want them to know how much I hate Marty.
Poor Marty. It's a Zamboni with eyes.
Stalks me.
He's creepy.
He also makes strange noises.
Well,
If it's the same
Yes,
thing
he
as the one
grunts.
at like
That's
Sam's
like that.
Club,
Yeah,
that's
that's
all
same
it
thing.
is. It's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
The Zamboni.
I don't like it.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't
bother
clean.
me.
It doesn't do anything except stalks you.
It doesn't clean.
It's like a jealous
No.
ex-boyfriend.
You really don't even want to have human interaction in the grocery store
Well,
if
that
you don't
part's true.
have
I-
to.
I hear
that.
Why in
That's
God's
true.
name do you
Oh,
want to
that's
deal
very
with
true.
a machine?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
true.
truth.
Yeah.
So I do have
I'm a
one
mechanic.
more.
I know how to deal with a machine. That's not a problem.
For our listeners,
me.
Giant is one of the food
Yes, it's a
companies.
food store. It's similar
one
to
here,
a
yeah.
Wegmans.
A marketplace. Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
regional, by the way, but
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a grocery store.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
a
grocery
pick
store.
up
it's
your
like ShopRite. That's national. That people can, everybody
Yeah.
can relate to that.
So I have one more word, and I am so excited about this word. I
I
found it.
better keep my finger over the button on this one.
No,
knowing
it's
her.
not bad.
Oh,
And today's word is
Yeah.
Muff.
Oh, really?
Great word.
Oh, yeah.
A
Great word.
silly or
I know
weak-minded
poems.
person.
Wow.
I know words. I know that word. You know,
Yeah.
no muff too tough.
Wow. Well, you know,
When I was younger and
know a lot of
outside in the
muffs.
cold, I loved sticking my hands in a nice warm
more
muff.
muff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah,
With
gotcha.
winter coming up, it's so pro.
I used to have a rabbit
Oh,
muff
no.
when I was a little girl.
Ooh,
I still
yeah.
have
Rabbit
my
muff?
Do you?
I do.
Hey. Wow. Well, we can all see why Rebel picked these.
You're welcome,
Yeah,
world.
we got Bone the House and Muff.
You're welcome, world.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Germany. It gets even spicier.
Not to be confused with being muffled while being boned.
Oh, yeah. Big difference. Big
That's in
difference.
Thailand.
Yeah. Wow.
The word segment is rapidly becoming one of my favorites. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Wow.
You don't have to be twisted to sit in with us, but it helps.
Oh,
Yes.
it definitely does.
It's okay if you're not crazy. We'll train you.
Exactly.
I'm glad we got through those words
Remember,
anyway.
all applicants are not created equal.
Oh, your
No,
lights
they are
on.
not.
There we go.
Got that.
Hey. It's the red light
The new
district.
he's
Forgot
just
that,
setting
yeah.
the mood there. Look.
Bang,
believe I
bang,
forgot
muff.
Hey, Rebel. Good words. Good word. And that's a weak-minded person?
It's a simple or weak-minded person. Yes.
Oh, we just say Democrats.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
Okay,
Shots have
I'm
been
sorry.
fired.
We
Yeah.
just say liberals. There we
Yeah,
go.
there we go.
Liberals. There we go. Because yes,
I'm a blue dog,
better.
Deb. Blue dog.
Time to put that that dog down. I was just saying. What?
Get on your step stool and say
Wow.
that.
Okay.
I'm feeling the love. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
I'm telling you, jeez.
So, being that it is Halloween Eve,
Oh, it is
as
Eve.
far as
That's right.
topics go,
I could fill you in on something really cool.
Wait,
Okay.
I thought we were going to do spooky
yeah,
stuff,
we
not
are.
my
We're
dating
going
history.
to do the Oogie Boogie stuff.
This is kind of oogie boogie.
This is.
I mean, and we do have a lot of different. I mean, we could, speaking of Oogie Boogie, or just
boogie.
we could talk about Baldwin and stuff like that, but we're not going to. We're going to go on the
What
Or-
about what
Actual-
about bald men?
Bald men.
that too. But
Or if we wanted
Well,
to do
we're
a
gonna go off
pictorial,
on
I
the,
could show you guys pictures of my exes. That definitely
you know
counts
what?
as Oogie
Pictures
Boogie.
though, they don't play well on the air, do they?
That's true. Yeah, that's all right. Most of our viewers don't want to see them anyway.
Which is
I don't want to
why
see them.
we're on the air, because those pictures don't do us justice. Well, they do. That's the problem. But at least in my case. But yeah, let's go on to some like more of the
Spooky.
occult, spooky, paranormal. Call it what you will. Let's go on to that.
Secret
I've been
Mason.
wanting to do a show like this anyway,
I've been
but
wanting
this is
to
a good time to do it.
pick the mind of Madman and hear that story.
No,
Maybe
you're
one-
not.
Oh, I want to hear the story.
No.
That's on the
not
eve.
today. No,
It's
daylight.
No, not today.
That's
It's
a daylight.
daylight.
Yeah, but not today.
Come on, Muff.
No, we will do that.
No.
Wow. Okay.
I just learned that word. Did I use it right?
I want us to do a live on location from Penhurst.
No.
Well, I can arrange it as far as technically, but you guys need to arrange it as far as actually getting
Legally.
the permissions. Right. I mean,
Well,
I can
they
make
do
it
an overnight.
I am not.
overnight.
We could set
I don't know
up-
if I want to sit there at 2:00 in the morning doing this show.
I'm
in
thinking
Pinehurst.
overnight with
I
these
don't
guys
know
could be real
about
fun.
that.
Well, thinking it through, we'd be awake for some of the night, and then the rest of the night we would just leave everything recording, and we would see how many things come out to say hi.
Or not.
Maybe we could get, a bone or two thrown at our way.
Right away. Right
I'm
away.
using
And
the
all the
word of the
muffs will
day.
look at us.
That was a good word of the day. Yeah.
Bone.
All right. That's a good use of the word. Good
It
word
is.
play.
And this time,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's
So,
hear spooky.
okay,
booky.
go ahead.
So Monday, I went to see this young lady named Lisa Alexander.
Can we say that? Do I have to bleep that?
She is a metaphysical healer. She's
Oh,
on
okay.
Facebook, so she's got a public domain.
Okay.
It was interesting. She uses tuning forks and energy to kind of
Tune your piano.
tune your piano. Really,
Nice.
honestly,
Play these keys, baby.
Yeah.
So you say all living beings operate on a vibrational level.
Okay.
So many comments
everything
I want
has
to
a
make.
frequency. In other words, yes.
Yeah. So everything operates on frequency.
I can get behind that. I believe that. Yes.
So I'm not a kid anymore. There's portions and pieces of me that hurt and ache, and I am a body worker by trade. I'm a massage therapist licensed for
Good that you
25 years.
clarified, because
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
hear body worker, I do
No.
not think massage
Yeah,
therapist.
I am a licensed
Body
massage
worker.
therapist for 25 years.
Nice.
And I've had massage done. I've had chiropractic done, and I decided that I was going to go see this metaphysical healer. Now, how did I meet the metaphysical healer? She pops
Got a
up.
dealer?
She pops up on my Facebook page a year ago. A very dear friend of mine could not handle life anymore and took her life.
Sad. Super
Sorry
sad.
to hear that.
And this person contacted me for information. And of course, I don't know her. So what do we do when we don't know somebody and they contact us? We Facebook stalk them, right? Isn't that what we do?
Oh,
I just
I had
ignore
a
it because
different
I don't know
answer.
how to
Yeah,
Facebook.
I had a different answer.
Well,
as
when they're
well.
asking direct questions, you know that they know you somehow.
Okay.
So there was a connection. But I hadn't talked to her since our mutual friend's passing. And the other day I'm going through my Facebook page and she popped up out of nowhere, which that's kind of freaky. She's not somebody in my regular circle, so for her to just pop up was kind of weird. But I made the appointment and I went, and it was extremely interesting. I have a lot of low back stuff. It's my thing. And as she is working on me face down on a massage table, she says, sacral area stuck. But this isn't your stuck. This is 3 generations back. It doesn't belong to you. It's on your father's side. And this comes from one of two things. And she said, it either comes from the death of a child or sexual abuse. Those are the two things that this will manifest this kind of pain. And I said, well, that's clear to me what's going on there. My grandparents had a child that passed away when she was 2. My aunt and my grandmother they both lived, but this youngest child passed. And she went in and she was like, it's nice that you know that's what it is and we can pinpoint it. And she did some stuff with the tuning forks and it cleared. It was wild. I don't have pain back there. I haven't had pain since Monday.
Wow, that's cool.
Wow.
It's good.
So yeah, so it was interesting, and you're laying on the table and you're hearing, and you're like,
I'd be a little
okay,
skeptical.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm so skeptical. But I'm
what are you
like,
doing
all right,
back there?
I'll take care of it. But it was funny. She had used,
A bell?
no, it was, what do they call
Cowbell.
that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
More
talking about? The chain with the pendulum.
Pendulum.
So she did the pendulum. Yeah, I'm lost for a word.
It's okay. It happens to me all
And
the
she
time.
had gone before
gave
she
us
started
5.
doing body work, and the pendulum had, everything was open except for my solar plexus and my sacrum. Everything had a nice swing. Solar plexus were very stagnated, very tight circle movement, but almost none. And sacrum had almost no movement as well. And when she got done with me, everything was balanced front and back. It was very odd.
Well, see, I
That's
find
really
that stuff interesting. Yeah.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never heard of stuff like this.
I've
It's
never
very
heard that.
cool. She did say to me that there is a problem. Sacrum has something that belongs to me, but it's 5 lives back.
Oh.
So I've been here. I also have 4 chambers in my heart, and not my physical heart, in my spiritual heart, which means I've been here a long time, which I thought was really kind of cool.
Yeah, that is interesting.
It's
I'd like
ano-
to hear that.
Well, see, that's another thing
Yeah.
I want to get with her friend Claire and get her here because I've talked to her about stuff like that before.
What's Claire do?
Claire's a medium.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Claire's a clairvoyant.
Claire.
And it's kind of funny. Claire's gifts came after an almost drowning.
Okay.
It is generational, though. 2 generations back in her family, her mother and her grandmother on her mother's side both have these abilities. People don't tap into them, though, because they're afraid of them. People are scared. It's something. And if you're raised in a Christian environment, you are pretty much taught that all this stuff is
Bad.
taboo.
Crap.
You're opening up yourself for.
Or it just
It's
is
the
crap
devil.
and it doesn't
Yeah.
exactly exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't even exist. Yeah.
My own theory is that I think that in the Bible, there's passages that say we have a good and merciful God. If he's good and merciful, he's not going to give you one shot to get it right. You're going to get a few journeys through because there's a lot to accomplish here
I mean,
as a spirit.
I could combat that if you'd like me to.
Go ahead.
But I mean, it also says if you're going from the Bible, it also says it's appointed unto man once to die. Just saying.
So he's talking physically or spiritually?
Well, I'm just saying before we dive into that,
it's just a thought.
Yeah, no.
Because spiritually,
I grew up in a very Christian home, so when you say that stuff, the first thing that goes through my mind is just like, okay, so we were watching Skywalker Ranch. Remember you told me to watch that?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
me watching that, first of all, is like they're walking around with meters going off, and the first thing in my head is, what a bunch of crap this is. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't gotten into it far enough yet to see. I mean, for me, I'm like, okay, anyone could walk around with a meter and it's just have it go like this and be like, okay. So I'm not saying it's crap, and I'm not saying, but I mean, it's the first thing that goes off is you're like, okay, So
See, from a physics perspective, though, it makes sense
It
because
does- no,
we
it
know
does
through
make
the
sense.
laws of
Yeah.
physics that energy can neither be created or destroyed.
Yeah.
And we've proven scientifically time and time again that human beings are energy.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm not saying
transitioning
I
makes
haven't
sense.
gotten into that yet, and not to take away from what you're saying.
no, not at all.
He needs a weekend at your mother's house.
No.
In
But
the room.
I don't know, like
what
that.
is in the room?
That
We don't go
that's
We
an
don't
interesting
know.
topic that you
Oh,
and I
my.
would probably spend a lot of
I've
time.
been there.
talking
Trust me, I know.
It's very interesting. Some of the books I've read tell you that you are a spirit on a journey. We're put in physical bodies, but we're spiritual beings. So when we're here, we're having human experiences. Our spiritual bodies are having human experiences. And teachers that believe this way say that Earth is a school, that you're here to learn.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also, I just have,
detention section.
I've never heard of,
Detention, I was saying.
I've never heard of it going for like therapy and saying it's because of generations past. I've never heard that before.
I hadn't
So that
heard
was- yeah,
either.
that-
That was
that's-
new. That was new
yeah,
to me
that's
too,
new.
as well. But Sylvia Brown, very well known.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
She will tell you that as a child, she remembered her grandmother burning the inside of her forearm making cookies or something one afternoon, and she was very close to her grandmother. And later in her lifetime, when her children had children, her granddaughter came with a birthmark that was an exact replica on the same arm of the burn mark her grandmother had from baking. So reincarnation, I don't know. I mean, I'm on the fence with a lot of this stuff. I don't know what to believe.
I'm
You know?
hoping for reincarnation because it's got to be better than what I've dealt with.
Well, you'll make your journey harder every time if the teachings are correct. You pick your journey before you get here based on what it is you need to learn. So the first round, when you're dumb to everything that's happening to you, you might have an easy ride because God knows you're not equipped to handle anything else.
Yeah.
And as we become more skilled in our survival techniques, we pick harder journeys so we can learn more.
Oh, good. We're on the pro tour.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we're all a bunch
I
of
never
professionals
thought
here.
about it that way. Yeah.
On Sunday nights, they have, it's a Hindu version of the Plum Sanctuary. And it's based off the teachings, and Buddha comes on every now and then. And you also have the Dalai Lama that does this whole thing to Thailand. And it's banned in a lot of places. And I watch it. I'm looking for something different. I want to hear something different. I'm tired of listening to all the other sources, and they're going, it's the same thing. It's, you have to do this and you have to do that. And I want to hear something different. So when you listen to this and they talk about how do you open up your heart and your time and your talent after everything that someone has gone through, and you see the world in the shithole that it can be, how do you open back up? And it's very enlightening to hear how they've accomplished that. And listening to the Dalai Lama, it's been very profound. So I'm enjoying that.
I haven't ever listened to him, but I'm definitely interested in that.
It's really amazing, and I'm shocked that he's not allowed in a lot of places.
I find it very, very interesting. It's brought up a good point, because I've had a lot of stuff happen in my life. A lot of stuff. And I can tell you confidently now that I am a nicer, warmer, more loving person now, because I see how much the world needs that.
Yeah.
And it would be so easy to be like a harder, harsher, walled up person. But you know what? It took so much violence to become this gentle.
Well, it's like I told you. You can run as far as you can and as fast as you can. When you're ready, come home.
Yeah. No matter where you go, you still have to take you with you. So
You know what's funny? My father, actually, my biological father, said something similar to that for years and years. And for years, it never made any sense to me. The thing that he said was, no matter where you go, there you are.
you carry your trauma.
Yeah.
Until you're willing to deal with it,
Yeah.
you carry your trauma.
And I always thought it was something silly that he said, because he had a lot of issues. He was a man who really struggled with his demons. He was a Marine. He served in Vietnam. He was born in 1951. Men didn't talk about mental health. Men didn't talk about their problems
not back then.
then.
Not absolutely not.
So he was somebody who really genuinely struggled a lot. And I have so much pity and sympathy for what he must have been going through now, especially as an adult and as a parent myself. But I really honestly just thought for the longest time that it was something that he said that was just one of those weird rambling dad sayings, yeah, mow the lawn, got to make it checkers, wherever you go, there you are. All right, I don't know what you want me to do with this information. I'm 8, man. But the
It's
older
true.
I get, the more sense that makes to me is no matter where you go, there you are. And that really didn't hit for me until I was in an unhappy relationship. And I happened to be out in Seattle. And I was so annoyed with myself because I'm I'm in Seattle. I've never been to Seattle before. I've never been to the West Coast before. I was so excited to go. I got the opportunity to go through work. So it was my flight there and back was paid for. It was sweet. And I was so unhappy and I was so irritated with myself. Like, why am I unhappy? I'm here. And then it hit me. No matter where you go, there you are. The problems came with me on the plane. I didn't, consciously pack them, but they were there regardless. And until I addressed them, I could go all over the world and it wasn't going to make a difference.
Yeah, we unintentionally self-destruct based on experience, until we are willing to deal with the traumas that get dropped in our laps, take the bull by the horn, so to speak, we end up sabotaging our lives. I was 40 and had childhood trauma that I hadn't dealt with. And everything that I touched turned to shit because I wasn't willing to deal with the fact that I had been hurt.
Yeah.
And until I did that, I was not capable of having a loving, committed relationship with a member of the opposite sex to save my life. It just wasn't. My children, wonderful relationships with my children because they're mine.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that I left a good imprint, not a bad one. But it took me till I was 40. So wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah. It's funny, too, because until we really fully address the trauma that we have from our childhoods, you never really solve it.
Some people never do that their whole life.
Yeah,
They
and
never deal with it.
I feel so bad for them because how scary it must be to kind of look at the not so great part of yourself
And run from it.
And run. But the reality is you know what? It's not so great, but that's still a piece of yourself. And the sooner you accept that and the sooner you work on that and the sooner you process that, that's how much faster you'll be so much happier in life, if that makes sense. Like you're until you process that, you're still going to be dealing with it.
Right. Would you be who you are without the experiences you've had?
Maybe not.
Probably not.
Yeah. No.
You wouldn't have empathy for somebody
I agree with that.
who's been through what you've been through if you hadn't experienced that. Because reading
you can
about
relate to it now.
Yeah, reading about it or hearing about it is very different than experiencing it.
Yeah.
Everything that you've gone through up until this point has worked to shape the person you are right now. Everyone goes, man, I wish I wouldn't have dated him or her or anything like that. But had you not, you might not have met the person that you're with now. Like all the ones I look back now that I thought were the one back in my day.
Rungs on a ladder.
Right, exactly. And had any one of them turned out even a little bit differently, I wouldn't have met Petey and we wouldn't be together now.
Exactly.
All the ones that I went through in the past. Right, exactly. Well, okay, besides the fact that you set us up to meet. Okay, that's besides the fact. All right, because I'm talking about even before I knew you. Yeah. But but the same thing with this. Everything you've gone through, good and bad, in the past, shapes the person you are now. And it's okay that it shapes you, but some of the things you just have to be careful not to let the bad things define you.
Yes.
Right. It's okay that you let them shape you, but don't let them necessarily define you. And I think that's the trick.
A lot of our childhood experiences, we're not emotionally equipped to deal with
Correct.
them until we are older.
Oh, yeah.
And you get an education in adult life. So your experiences are experienced in the child's mind, in the child's body, and the child is not equipped to process the damage. So until you become an adult and can actually hone in on what's going on, you can't fix it. I remember sitting in therapy in my 30s saying to the doctor, I just want a lobotomy. I'd like about 6 months of time removed. And she said, but sure, just rock it. You wouldn't be who you are. And I said, but that might be okay. And she said, and it might not. Yeah. Do you want to take the chance? Do you want to change that? Because if you take this out, then you don't have this, this, and this.
Correct.
So you're like, wow, I never thought about it like that. And you don't until somebody kind of points it out. So it's pretty interesting.
Well,
No, I
lobotomy,
agree.
can they pick and choose what they?
No,
Yeah,
but
I
you
didn't
know,
think so.
That was just a
This
a
is not
meta-
eternal
it's a
sunshine of the
metaphor.
spotless
Yeah.
mind.
I was wondering.
no.
Remind me to explain to you what a metaphor is.
Yeah.
That wasn't one of our words of the day, so he might be lost.
Yeah, severe trauma as a child has an overlap, and pretty much it's like water. It runs into everything until you're willing to deal.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's where we first learn how to interact with other people. That's where we first learn how to manage and communicate our emotions.
Trust.
Everything comes
Trust
back
is
to that.
huge.
Yeah.
Trust is huge. If you raise a child in a home where they don't trust you to look out for their well-being, they don't trust you to, so many things are unspoken. Your kids know you're going to make them dinner. You're going to do their laundry. The house is going to be relatively clean. Somebody's going to go to the grocery store. There's going to be milk in the refrigerator. They don't think about those things. They just kind of take for granted that they're there until something horrible happens and you have to live through it, and somebody pulls a rug out from underneath you. So it's tough. It's really tough. And they say that the human mind doesn't develop the coping mechanisms and the ability to look and have forethought as to, well, if I do this and this, the outcome could be this, this, and this. We don't have that till we're about 25 years old. The brain is not fully developed until you're about 25. So
That's
a lot
scary.
of the think about some of the stuff you did as a young adult.
Oh my God.
Like you're 18, they give you a license to be your own person, Man, it's like handing you the keys to the kingdom and you're just... you're the janitor.
Yeah.
Hello. You don't know what you're doing. You can't run anything because you don't know how. You only know how to clean it. You don't know how to do anything else.
One of the things I like to do is play chess. And to me, chess is like a wheelhouse. I have to see 7 moves down how that move is going to affect me. And people hate that about me because I do that at work. I'm like, I need 5. I go out, I throw it up in the wheelhouse, and I actually do that. Because I'm
As a
weird.
visual.
Yeah, I just throw it like, you're throwing, confetti. But then I can see where I need to move things to make this all happen. And people are like, there's something wrong with you. I'm like, you have no idea.
It's nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with you. I think it's amazing that you have the capacity to look beyond the moment.
Some people have
have
that
to.
analytical mind, others don't.
Yeah.
And I think to some degree it's can be taught, but some of it is innate. You just kind of come with it. It's built in. Like the ability to do mathematic products.
And some people like me have that analytical mind, but sometimes I let the emotional part of me get ahead of that analytical mind.
Mm-hmm.
I react before I like, hey, let's think about this real quick. And sometimes, some people are wired that way, and that's the way I'm wired.
And they will tell you men and women are wired differently. We tend to be more emotional. You guys tend to be more analytical. But there are women like you
Yeah.
who can squash that emotional portion and say, you know what, let's take a look at this for what it is.
It's
and
really hard.
Let me take my emotional self out of this and just kind of look at it.
It's very hard to do. It's something that you have to work at all the time. I mean, most of everybody who knows me think I have the emotional span of a flea.
Which is not true. It's
Not
just
the people
it's
who
just
truly know
suppressed.
you.
A tick, maybe, but
Yeah,
not a flea.
a little bigger than a flea.
Right, yeah, not a flea.
We moved up on the ladder of bloodsuckers.
Right.
This is an interesting evolution here.
Me, I just go all Hulk smash,
Yeah, you're
It's
Hulk
like,
smash.
Was that one of our words?
Yes, it was one of our
Wow,
words.
look at us. Wow, we're
Words
really
is hard. I'm
yeah.
so glad I bought 1600 through 1800.
That's a lot of words.
So I want to change the subject a little bit. I have a question for the Madman.
Hello?
Back in the 80s or 90s, you used to work voluntary at a theater nearby that's supposed to be haunted. The
Nearby?
State Theater.
Oh,
The
yeah,
State Theater
downtown.
East
Oh, I
End.
love
Yes.
that theater.
And it is supposedly haunted
Oh, it
by
is definitely haunted.
an apparition.
I didn't know
It is
that.
named
definitely
Fred.
haunted.
What?
It is definitely haunted.
Could I ask you what you experienced there? What were you there for, first
wait,
of all?
Is this the story?
State Theater
Oh, okay.
in Eastern Pennsylvania was
He was there for dancing and singing.
was built in or was opened in 1926 as a vaudeville theater.
Okay.
It was a working stage where you had live acts, vaudeville, back in the day. Those who don't know what vaudeville is, basically look it up. Google vaudeville.
That's a good-
It's too much to go into if younger people younger than us.
Yeah.
It was before television.
Yeah.
In fact, it was just barely almost before radio.
It's TikTok with an audience.
Your basic, kind of. Okay, very well. And I like that. I never thought about it that way, but it's kind of like that. It was like a live TikTok type of thing.
like a live
there were
Carol
a lot
Burnett
of
show.
There were a lot of different little
Yeah.
acts.
Like a variety show.
It
a
was a
variety
variety
show,
show type of thing. You would go to the theater because you didn't have TV. You really didn't have radio yet. I mean, it had started. Radio was in 1924. This was 1926. You had radio, but not everybody had it.
Right.
Your sources of entertainment were read a book or go see a show of some sort.
Play games with the family.
All right.
Throw a
And
ball at a wall.
even movies were relatively new at the time.
Yeah, true.
Okay, and the technology wasn't there because it was still silent at that point. So if you wanted some type of entertainment, you went to see a show or concert, whatever. Now, vaudeville entertainment was you'd go out for an evening at the theater and you might see like 15, 20 acts, short, small acts, different groups of people. Not like going to see a play. That was different. You'd go see, like, have a comedy sketch, a little drama sketch, maybe a little magic sketch. It'd be like 10, 15 minutes, and you had a program that would tell you what was coming up next. Anyway, so the State Theater was built and was opened in 1926 as a vaudeville theater. So it was an actual stage and everything. And then somewhere, and I'm not sure where, because, again, before my time, but somewhere in there, after vaudeville kind of died, it just became a movie house. Mm-hmm. But unlike a regular movie theater, it still had the stage.
Right.
Now it had an orchestra pit, which is that area below the stage just in front where you put the musicians. Mm-hmm. Well, that had actually been closed over. They just built some stuff and extended the floor right straight to the bottom of the stage, put more seating there. Because, again, wasn't the type of thing people were interested in. And it became just a movie house. Put a big screen there, showed movies.
Beautiful piece of architecture.
Oh, it is.
Here in Easton.
It truly is. So for years and years, for 60 years maybe at that point, 50 years at that point, because this is back the 80s, 90s, excuse me, was basically just a movie house. Well, in 83, I think it was, we had a local theater group here by the name of Shonson Theater I was a member of. And at the time, there was one man that was basically in charge of the theater. He was a manager. And they talked to him. And it's like, yeah, we'd like to get a live show. Would you guys be interested in producing a live show and use the stage and try to turn this back into a live theater again? And we were one of the first ones. We were the first ones to do a live. Well, the stage hadn't been used as a stage in 40 years, okay? I mean, there were literally parts of the stage, where way up above in the ceiling had gotten leaks, and there were rotted spots where you didn't step. Okay. You would go through to the basement, to one level below. There wasn't much of a counterweight system for putting scenery up. There was... they didn't even have the old sandbag system that they used to have. It was so bad. We just can't believe that we were able to pull this off. But anyway, we're there. So it was like, I think it was 2 weeks before the show, our scheduled show. We got there, we moved our stuff in, and we started setting up, and we started doing things. But we were also cleaning up because there's just stuff all over the place that had just, over the years, like, it was like a junkyard in the back of the stage, because it was behind the screen. Nobody could see it. Hey, what are we going to do with this? I don't know, go throw it in the back of the stage. Go throw it in the back. And we're moving stuff. I carried a bunch of stuff up. There were 3 levels of dressing rooms at the theater. You went up a set of steps behind the stage on the, what would be stage left, which is, if you're looking at the stage, is on your right-hand side. And you get in there, and then there was another set of steps to go up to the next level. Only one level was usable. The others were pretty much rotted out. It was terrible. So I'm taking some stuff up to put in one of the dressing rooms. I go up there Saturday. We're there. It is a Saturday. And I took some stuff up. And just as I put the stuff in the one dressing room, they said put it in the second dressing room as you go up the steps. Now, down this hallway was a small dressing room that also, right outside the dressing room, was like a fire exit, but it was closed and actually locked at the time for security. Then there was another small dressing room. Then there was a little bathroom, which was just a bathroom and sink. Then there was another small dressing room, and then on the other end was a huge dressing room that also had a shower and everything in it too, if you needed it. Okay, that's just second dressing room. And so then there was the bathroom and the two. All right, I go into one, I put the stuff in there. Just as I'm coming out of the corner of my eye, I see somebody walk into the last dressing room, the little one next to the fire exit. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see if they need some help. I go in there, and this dressing room, by the way, is maybe, it's like a jail cell, basically. It's like 6 by 8. It's very small. I turn in there, there's nobody in there. I don't think anything of it because I'm like, okay, whatever. I must have just seen something. Come out, go downstairs. But I'm thinking about it. And there was a friend of ours he was the one that designed the sets for this show. It was, what was the show we did? Babes in Toyland. Babes in Toyland, a stage version of that. And he designed the sets. And he's looking at me like, he goes, what's wrong? I'm like, what do you mean what's wrong? He goes, I don't know, you look out of sorts ever since. I'm like, well, I went upstairs, and I thought I saw someone, and I didn't. He says, oh, you probably just saw the ghost. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, ghost theater. Yeah, every theater's haunted. Yeah, big freaking deal. All right, now I'm a teenager at the time, and even by that time, I've been through some shit, okay, of my own, which is the one you're trying to get me to tell. And one day I will, but not you. Even you don't know that one yet, but one day I will. So it's not like I don't believe, but there are some things I didn't take seriously, and that was one of them. Yeah. And then the rest of the day, no big deal. The next day, that was Sunday. We went back, did some more stuff. He goes, hey, we got to clean this one area out. So I'm cleaning some stuff. And as we're moving stuff, the one other person, she was moving a box, and it fell. She dropped it. And it broke open. It was a cardboard box, broke open. And these, like, photographs just all over the place. And I'm helping clean up. And as I'm, like, handing photographs, all of a sudden, noticing this one photograph, I'm like, holy crap. That's the guy I saw yesterday go down the hall in that freaking room. I take it to he's passed away now, so I took it to Mr. Fox. I said, Mr. Fox, I said, this is the guy I saw yesterday. He goes, yeah, that's the old manager, Fred. That's the ghost here. I'm like, that's really, you mean this really? Oh crap. Okay. and that's the first time I saw him. Now, this was 1983. By 1986, we had done a couple shows there and helped the theater grow, and they were starting to get some live entertainment in, limited live entertainment, not like it is now, because again, the facility wasn't really up to snuff yet. Actually, honest to God, they really shouldn't have done a damn thing because it was not up to code, honestly. Me and another guy in that first show, we should be dead because we were holding a rope while they tied something off, and somebody 2 levels up on the catwalk kicked over a steel weight that literally came between the two of us, and we were 3 feet apart. And just happened to manage to miss the two of us. But it was a bit of a death trap, but that's besides the point. So that was 83, 1980, I think, I want to say 5, maybe 6. We were doing some things, and at that point, I was a regular volunteer, and I was tasked with like locking up the theater and stuff like that. And there was one show, it was a Sunday afternoon. And it was a funny thing, by the way, after that first experience, I just accepted, okay, there is somebody here. And I would catch little things out of the corner of my eye here and there, but nothing like I saw that time. No big deal. It's just like, all right. I was like, all right, there might be something to this. But it wasn't one of those things where you were ever scared. You just knew it was like, you don't have to worry about it. It was about 1986. There was a Sunday afternoon show. It was for kids. It was a matinee. It was a magician. And it was after the intermission. We were closing everything up. Everything was done. Now we just have to wait for them to get done and everybody to leave, and then I can lock up. I go up to the balcony, which was closed that day because it was one of those things where they kept all the kids and their parents down front because it was close-up stuff. I'm going to the balcony. I'm just going to watch. And the balcony was kind of split. You came up the steps to the balcony, and it was a big, wide aisle. And then you could either go further up or kind of like down to the actual rail. So I go about halfway across, and I just sit there, and I'm watching this magician. I'm watching the kids, and I'm like, these kids are really having a good time. And I'm starting to watch, and I'm starting to like just watch the show. And all of a sudden, I realized somebody else, who I assumed was one of the people from the office, comes walking down the aisle and sits down a couple seats next to me. So I'm not even thinking anything. And then all of a sudden, the magician does something, and it's like, we're like, oh, that was cool. And I turn to look and see what their reaction is, and I'm like, I know who this is. I'm like seeing this guy in this old suit, and then he turns and looks at me and just kind of smiles, and I'm just staring at him like, what am I going to do next? And then the magician does something that uses like a little flashbang type of thing, some flash powder, poof, took my attention away. I turned back and he's gone.
No way.
And I just like, and you know what? It was odd. I'm not going to lie. But it wasn't scary. No, it wasn't scary.
Did you see him again?
It wasn't scary. Shortly after that, I stopped volunteering there for some other stuff I was involved in and stuff like that. So, no, I never actually got to see him again. Oh, there was one other one where one time I was walking down from the balcony, just turned around the corner, and he was just right there. Boom. And I just remember going, don't do that. But that was actually before this other one. And I saw him total of 3 times.
Yeah, that's freaky.
Total of 3 times, and
cool.
not once was I ever scared.
He looked like Mist, or he looked like a regular
he looked
person?
like I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He looked like I'm looking. Now others they've seen something like a column of mist walk. They've seen like a little column with like tiny little flash bulbs going off and like sparkly.
Oh,
Now those are theater people, so they like sparkly stuff anyway. Hello.
Of course it had sparkles.
That's beside the point.
Yeah.
But no, I only ever actually saw him like I'm looking at you.
Have you been back in the theater since it's been opened back up?
Oh God, yeah. I've seen a couple of shows since there, but I haven't been part of the theater, so it's just, But I will admit, the last time I went to see a show there, and I think that was, I'm going to say 2006. I got to admit, even during the show, I'm like looking around. I'm almost like looking for him, which of course I would never find him that way because he always came in when you weren't looking.
And Mr. Fox, Mr. Fox lived across the street from us?
Mr. Fox lived actually about half a mile that way from where we are right now, here on the south side.
Okay.
He was the art teacher at the high school. He was a friend of Aunt Jean's, who you know. Yeah, it's
yeah, there was a Mr. Fox that lived in the house across the street.
That was
from
totally
me.
different family. Yeah, nothing,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. I've been waiting to hear that story for a while.
Yeah.
You know what story I'm waiting to hear?
You're not going to hear that one for a while because that one's not happy. That one's not warm and fuzzy.
All right.
There's no.
All right. One day.
Don't be an
Everybody's
antagonist.
doing it.
He
It'll
has
make you
more than
feel
one
good.
story, too.
Yeah,
Right?
that's why I'm so messed up. Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Well, speaking of ghosts, I do need to disappear, unfortunately.
So do I.
I do have a commitment later on tonight, but it was such a pleasure to be back in the studio with my fellow Snorki. It was so nice to talk to our wonderful audiences all over the world, and it was even better sipping on some Legacy Brewing coffee.
Yeah, good
It's
stuff.
great having you back.
Yeah, welcome back, Rob.
Yeah.
Can't wait for more. Can't wait.
And with that, get out.
Wow.
I mean, see, like,
Warm and
you know
fuzzy.
what?
Yeah, I
Hey,
mean-
if my
Fuzzy.
house ever tells me,
I ain't sticking
Yeah,
around.
I
Trust
wouldn't
me.
argue with the house.
No.
I'm going to go argue with my
Yeah,
place, so out.
Miss Kitty's
All right,
leaving.
take care,
Bye,
all.
Miss Kitty. Ooh.
So you know what? It is like 8
Wow.
minutes past the
You
past
did
the
it?
hour.
We
Yeah,
did it again?
we have a
All
long
right,
one
well,
today.
Just for that, we'll all leave. What do you think of that?
Yeah. Well, not before we eat.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have the whole Oktoberfest thing going on over here.
yeah.
It smells so good. We've been
Good stuff.
cooking as we've been doing the show.
Yeah.
So,
Good show, man.
Yeah, it
Good
was. Thanks again for tuning in to the PSNORKIS podcast. That's again PSNORKIS. And thank you for so much for joining us. Thank you for joining us from around the world. I really had no idea,
I know you
Doc.
did.
I'm
That's
so
awesome.
glad. Thank
So
you so
cool.
much for telling me that. That's really cool because
Yeah, that's awesome.
we were doing this just thinking, maybe a handful of people are listening. It
Yeah.
might be fun, you know.
They are listening.
I'm glad people are enjoying it. Thank you so much. We're going to come up with a way that you guys can get in touch with us and let us know what you think. Give us some ideas for some shows and stuff like that. Again, not my thing. Michael, you're the one. Petey, she's another
Okay,
one.
man.
You guys will figure out a way to do that part of it.
For
you
sure.
know.
For sure. I want to hear from everybody.
Yeah, we really do. And thank you so much for listening. I can't believe that that we actually have that many listeners now.
Yeah, man, it's awesome.
That really is cool.
Keep listening.
I'm just blown away by it. I'm glad you guys enjoy because we enjoy bringing it to you.
Yeah.
So thank you again, everybody, and see you again in a week. And let's go eat.
Let's do that. Take care.